I'm speaking on behalf of commuter students to the Finance and Land Use Committee of the Board of Visitors about parking at George Mason, everyone's favorite topic, right? Yes. Thank you. I really appreciate it. Thank you. So in 2018, George Mason's total population of students was 36,297. It is the biggest state institution, well actually I think it's the biggest college in all of the Commonwealth. This might not seem surprising because of its growth over the past 10 years. It's grown 2% every year, equaling out to 20% in total enrollment, which is great, and 82% of students are full-time. What is surprising is that only 6,000 students out of that 36,000 live on campus. That's about 20% of the population, and that means that 80%, over 30,000 students, either commute or they take all of their classes online. And for those of us that have taken classes online, you know that sometimes you want to come to campus because you need to study or you need to do anything like that. So there's a lot of people that are trying to park here on a daily basis. George Mason's parking inventory shows that there are 14,800 spots across all campuses, and there are only 11,500 on this campus. And this is our main campus. This is our biggest campus. I've commuted to Mason from Stafford for the past 2 years, and I plan to commute for the next 2 years as I complete my master's. And my time at Mason has been really, really great. And I believe that Mason is a school that cares about its students and works diligently to create an environment for students that is productive and safe. But I really don't think that they're creating an environment that's, one, productive, because people are driving around for 20, 25 minutes trying to find a parking space. They're running to class because they're late because they couldn't find a spot. With the help of my parents, I've been lucky enough that I can afford a parking pass. But I know that for some of my peers, they're not so lucky. We all know one student who takes a bus here every day and has taken up to an hour and a half just to get here, which is, in my opinion, a complete waste of time. And I had a friend in one of my classes a few semesters ago that would park up to 2 miles away just because he found a place in Fairfax that had a, free parking sign. And I would drive him to and from his parking spot when the weather was not being kind or it was below freezing. And I don't think that a student should have to worry about walking in 18-degree weather with a wind chill just because they can't afford to buy a parking pass. The reason why these parking passes are so expensive is because Parking Services is a completely self-funded auxiliary. They have an annual budget of $17.8 million, and our school has a budget of $1.6 billion. One of the most important parts of my day is finding parking on campus, and so it really amazes me that our school that has, $150 million building budget for, pretty walls and, lots of windows, they think that's more important than the fact that there's parking on campus. One of the reasons that they don't keep building parking decks or keep making surface lots is because it can cost up to $30,000 a space to build a parking deck. And so building 100 spaces would completely wipe out their entire budget. And they also have to deal with operations, maintenance, leases, and they have a lot of debt to pay off because of the wrap deck and because of Mason Pond. They have a lot of debt that they're still paying off, about $6 million a year. Their budget is going to that. At a school where 61% of students receive financial aid, 38% of students are first-generation college students, and the average student balance in 2018 was $27,000 in loans. Upwards of $700 for a parking pass is a complete farce. It is, really sad that I'm paying for my own college with money that I've saved up since I was 5 years old, and I still need my parents to help me pay for a parking pass. And I know that there are people that can't find $200 to pay for a general pass. I'm asking you to step up. As the Finance and Land Use Committee of the Board of Visitors, I ask you to look deeper. Look deeper into what students need and are asking for. It's very simple when you take the time to listen. Tall buildings with lots of windows and a beautiful atrium are really great for tours, but what this school is neglecting is the one piece of every commuter student's day. Parking is a necessity to this campus with nearly 30,000 students living off campus and coming to school a few times a week. I find it shocking that a school with such a high commuter population does not find it necessary to help fund Mason's parking services. As total enrollment continues to grow 2% every fall, parking will continue to be a burden on George Mason students. Many commuter students already feel disconnected from George Mason's campus if they've never lived here. I wouldn't commute to Mason for over an hour if I didn't feel like this was the school for me. But what really breaks my heart is that because I can't find parking on campus and I'm spending $700 on a parking pass and Mason refuses to fund parking, I don't feel like Mason thinks that I'm the student for them. Thank you.